English Podcast City.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to English Podcast City channel. I'm really happy you're here with us today. I hope you're having a calm and comfortable moment right now because today we want to talk slowly, clearly, and in a friendly way so you can practice your English and also relax a little.
Hi, friends. It feels nice to be here again. I always enjoy these moments. It feels like we are sitting together in the same room, talking about simple things in life and learning English at the same time.
Exactly. And before we start our main topic, I want to say something to all the learners listening. You're doing something really good for yourself right now. You're taking time to improve your English, and that's a strong and positive choice. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let's enjoy this moment together.
I agree. Learning a language is not only about grammar and vocabulary, it's also about connection, habits, and confidence. So I hope today's conversation helps you feel a little more confident.
Speaking of confidence, Maria, how are you feeling today? How has your day been so far?
My day has been simple but nice. I woke up a little earlier than usual, made breakfast, and listened to some soft music. It helped me start the morning in a calm way. What about you, Alex? How was your morning?
My morning was good too. I went for a short walk outside before starting my work. The air felt fresh, and it actually helped me clear my mind a little. It's interesting how a small walk can make a big difference.
Oh, yes, definitely. Even 10 minutes of fresh air can change the way you feel. And it's even better when you're not checking your phone every second.
That's true. And actually, that brings us very close to our topic for today. Recently I tried to spend one full day without my phone. Just one day. And it felt very different.
Oh, really? That sounds interesting. I'm curious already. But before we go deeper into that, let's warm up the conversation a bit more. I think many people use their phone from the moment they wake up, right?
Yes, absolutely. Many people open their phone before they even get out of bed. It's like a habit we don't even think about anymore. Sometimes we check messages, sometimes social media, sometimes we don't even know why we opened it.
It feels automatic, like the phone controls our morning instead of us controlling our morning.
Exactly. And to be honest, that automatic habit affects the rest of the day too. When the first thing you see is your phone, your brain starts to look for notifications, distractions, and quick entertainment all day.
So true. And sometimes we don't realize how much time passes when we're scrolling. 10 minutes becomes 30 minutes, and suddenly an hour has gone.
Yes, and that's why the idea of spending a day without a phone can be really powerful. It forces you to see your day in a different way. It makes you more aware of what you do, what you think, and how you feel.
And it helps you notice things you usually ignore. For example, sounds outside, small details in your home, or even your own thoughts.
Exactly. And that was the experience I had. But we'll talk about that soon. For now, I want to stay in this warm-up part a little longer because many learners listening probably feel the same way we do. Maybe they feel a bit tired of always checking their phone.
Yes, many people feel overwhelmed, especially when they use their phone too much. And it's not only about social media, it's also messages, videos, news, games. It never ends.
And that constant noise makes it hard to think clearly, hard to focus on yourself, and sometimes even hard to enjoy your day.
So, when you decided to spend a whole day without your phone, what made you think about that idea?
Well, I realized something simple. My phone was the first thing I checked in the morning and the last thing I saw at night. And I didn't like that. It felt like my phone was controlling my time.
That's a strong realization. Many people feel that, but don't take action.
True. And I wanted to experience something different. I wanted to see what my day would look like if I removed the biggest distraction.
That actually sounds exciting. And maybe a little scary, too.
Yes, it was both. It felt strange at first because I didn't know what to do with all the little moments when I usually check my phone.
I can imagine that. Like when you're waiting for something, or sitting alone, or during a break.
Exactly. But you know what? Those small moments actually became the best part of the day. They were quiet, simple, and peaceful. Suddenly, I had time to think, to breathe, and to notice things around me.
That sounds wonderful. And I think many people would love to have moments like that, even if they don't realize it.
Yes. But before we explain the full experience, let's take our time because this topic is important and I want learners to understand every part clearly.
Absolutely. And I also want them to feel friendly energy from us. So let me ask you something simple, Alex. When you woke up on your no phone day, how did you feel in the first minute?
The first minute, honestly, I felt a little lost because usually I reach for my phone without thinking. But that day, I reminded myself, no phone today. And suddenly, the morning felt very quiet.
Quiet in a good way or a strange way?
At first, strange. But then it became good. Very good, actually.
That's interesting, because silence can feel uncomfortable at first, especially when we're used to constant noise.
Exactly. And I think this is something important for our listeners. Silence is not bad. Quiet moments can help you learn about yourself.
Yes, and they help your mind rest, something our minds really need.
So true. And that's why I think this topic is important for language learners too. When you disconnect from your phone, you can connect with your thoughts. And that helps learning.
That is a beautiful point. When you think more clearly, you learn more easily.
Exactly. Now, I want to continue describing the day step by step, but slowly, because this is a long conversation. So maybe we can talk about the morning first, then later move into the afternoon and evening.
Good idea. So tell me, after waking up without your phone, what did you do next?
I sat on the edge of my bed for a moment. I looked around my room. It felt like I had more space in my mind. Then, instead of checking notifications, I stretched a little and made my bed.
That sounds peaceful.
It was. And to be honest, I noticed small things I usually ignore, like the color of the morning light in the room.
That's beautiful. It shows how much we miss when we're focused on a screen.
Yes, and even later when I made breakfast, it felt different. I wasn't listening to anything on my phone. I wasn't watching videos. I was just cooking, and it felt calm.
That sounds really healthy. Like a reset for your mind.
Exactly. And I think learners can try something small too, maybe just 1 hour without a phone or eating breakfast without checking anything.
Yes, that's a great idea. Even a small break can help. So, after breakfast, I decided to go outside for a walk.
And you didn't take your phone at all.
Not at all. And that was the strange part, because we're so used to carrying it everywhere.
Yes, it feels like we're missing something if it's not with us.
Exactly. But walking without a phone helped me see the world more clearly. I noticed trees, sounds, small details. I felt more present.
That sounds wonderful, and I think our listeners can imagine it too. So, Maria, we were talking about how strange it feels when we reach for our phones and they're not there. It's almost like our hands are looking for something that our brain already forgot we don't have today.
Yes, exactly. It's like an automatic action. I think many people don't even notice how often they touch their phones. When I left my phone at home for this challenge, I felt something was missing in my pocket all the time.
I know that feeling. It's like you're missing a part of your daily routine, but after some hours, it becomes interesting, almost refreshing.
Yes. After the first 1 or 2 hours, I started to look around more. I saw things I normally ignore because I look at my phone. For example, I noticed how quiet the morning was. I even liked the sound of the birds.
That's really nice. Sometimes we forget how peaceful the real world can be because we're so busy scrolling or checking notifications. What did you do next?
Well, after breakfast, I wanted to check messages, but of course, I couldn't. So instead, I took a notebook and wrote a small to-do list. It was funny because I usually keep everything in my phone, but writing it by hand felt calming.
I agree. Writing on paper feels slower, but in a good way. It's like you think more clearly.
Yes, it slows you down in a comfortable way. And I looked at the list and said, okay, I can do all of this without my phone. And actually, I did. It was surprising.
That's great. So you had a productive morning.
Yes, I cleaned a bit, worked on some small tasks, prepared some food. I even listened to the quiet sound of my apartment. It felt like a small break for my brain.
That sounds wonderful. Many English learners can practice describing moments like this, simple actions during the day. It's a great way to think and speak in English naturally. So explaining your no phone day is actually a perfect language exercise.
True. And it's easy to talk about because everyone can imagine it. What about you, Alex? What did you do during your day without a phone?
Well, my day started with a habit I didn't even realize I had. I woke up, stretched, and instantly reached for my phone. But then I remembered, oh, wait, today is the no phone challenge. I looked at my empty bedside table and laughed at myself.
That's so relatable.
I know. So I got up, made some tea, and sat near the window. Usually I'd scroll while drinking tea, but instead, I just sat quietly and watched cars passing by. I think it was the first time in months that my morning was quiet.
It feels different, right? You feel more present.
Exactly. Then I went outside for a walk. Normally I would listen to music or a podcast on my phone, but walking in silence was surprisingly peaceful. I could hear people talking, leaves moving in the wind, even my own footsteps.
That sounds relaxing.
It was, but then something interesting happened. I wanted to take a picture of a pretty street, and I couldn't. So I just looked at it longer. Maybe even longer than I would have if I had taken a picture.
That's beautiful. You're really appreciating the moment.
Yes, it taught me something. Sometimes taking a photo is not the same as enjoying the moment. Without the phone, the moment stays in your mind, not in your gallery.
I love that. And I think our listeners can try the same experience and practice describing it in English. It's great for learning.
Definitely. Now, let's continue telling our listeners what happened next in our no phone day. After your productive morning, what did your afternoon look like?
In the afternoon, I wanted to relax. Usually I watch something on my phone or check social media, but since I couldn't do that, I picked up a book. I haven't read a physical book in a long time. It felt nice.
A real printed book with actual pages?
Yes, with real pages. I forgot how good it feels to hold a book and turn the pages. It slows your mind and helps you focus.
I really understand what you mean. When I read a book without distractions, my brain feels calm.
Exactly. And after reading, I cooked something simple. Normally, I look at recipes on my phone, but this time I just cooked from memory. It was fun and a little adventurous.
That sounds great. What did you make?
Just a simple pasta dish, but it tasted better because I wasn't rushed or distracted.
That's one of the biggest benefits of a no phone day. Everything feels slower and more real.
Yes, and after lunch, I decided to take a small nap, and it was one of the best naps of my life.
Because of the peace?
Yes. No notifications, no alarms, no messages, just quiet relaxation. I think phones interrupt our rest even when they're silent.
True, sometimes just knowing the phone is there keeps your mind active. So what happened after you woke up?
I felt very refreshed. I made some tea, sat on the balcony, and just enjoyed the weather. It wasn't anything special, but I felt meaningful.
That's amazing. A lot of people never experience that simple kind of peace because they're always connected.
Yes. And how about you? Tell me about your afternoon.
My afternoon was pretty similar to yours. I went to a small cafe. Usually I check messages or reply to emails when I'm there, but this time I just sat and watched the people around me. It was like watching a movie.
Did it feel strange?
A little, but in a good way. I noticed details I never pay attention to, like a couple laughing together, a man talking to his dog, a group of students studying. It felt very real and human.
That sounds lovely.
It was, and when I got home, I felt more relaxed than usual, like my mind had space to breathe.
That's a perfect description.
And I think this is something our listeners can practice, describing simple, real moments in easy English. It's the best kind of practice.
Absolutely. And it helps with speaking confidence too.
So, Maria, after I got home from the cafe, I felt like I wanted to keep the calm feeling going. So, I made some tea and sat on the couch. Normally, I would take out my phone and scroll for a long time. But this time, I just sat quietly.
Sometimes quiet moments feel strange at first, but then they feel really good. What did you do while sitting there?
Honestly, nothing. I just sat, breathed slowly, and let my mind relax. I didn't think about messages, news, or apps. I just felt peaceful.
That sounds wonderful. It's like your brain finally gets a break.
Yes, exactly. It's like my mind had been running all day, every day, for years, and suddenly it could stop and rest.
I think that's why no phone days feel special. They make you realize how much noise phones create in our lives.
Absolutely. After sitting for a while, I decided to do something different. I took a walk around my neighborhood during the late afternoon. The weather was cool and the sky looked beautiful.
Did you feel tempted to reach for your phone again?
A few times, yes. I saw a beautiful cloud formation and thought, wow, I want to take a picture. But then I thought, no, I'll just enjoy it with my eyes. And that made the moment feel more meaningful.
I understand that so well. When you don't have your phone, you look at things longer. You actually see them.
Exactly. And while walking, I also noticed how many people were staring at their phones. Couples, kids, people walking their dogs, everyone looking down.
It's funny how you see that more clearly when you're not using a phone yourself.
Yes, it makes you feel different. Like you're in a slower, calmer world while everyone else is rushing.
That's so true. What did you do after your walk?
After I came home, I opened the window to let the evening air in. I played some music on my old speaker because I can use it without my phone. I chose a calm playlist and just listened.
That must have felt relaxing.
Very relaxing. I sat and listened to the music from start to finish without skipping songs. With the phone, I always skip tracks, check messages, or multitask. But without it, I just listened. And it felt peaceful.
That sounds so nice. I think people forget how good it feels to do one thing at a time.
Yes. And after the music, I cooked dinner. Usually I watch videos while cooking, but cooking in silence was surprisingly fun. I paid more attention to the food, the smell, the chopping sounds.
Cooking becomes like meditation.
Yes, that's exactly it. After eating, I cleaned the kitchen slowly. No rushing, no notifications, just simple, peaceful tasks.
Sounds like a perfect evening, honestly.
It really was. Then I sat down again and wrote about my day in a small notebook. I wanted to keep the memory fresh.
That's a great idea. It's also good English practice for our listeners, writing about their day without a phone.
Yes, writing simple sentences like, I woke up, I had breakfast, I went for a walk, I cooked dinner. It's perfect for beginners.
And they can add feelings too, like I felt calm, I felt relaxed, I felt less stressed.
Exactly. After writing, I made a cup of warm tea and watched the sunset from my window. The colors were beautiful. And again, I couldn't take a picture, so I just enjoyed it fully.
It's amazing how many beautiful things we miss because we try to capture them instead of experiencing them.
That's so true. And then night came. Usually, my nights are full of phone time, watching videos, checking messages, scrolling. But this time, I decided to read a book too.
Same as me.
Yes! I opened a book I hadn't read in a long time. At first, it felt strange because my hands automatically wanted to check something. But after a few pages, my mind focused completely on the story.
Reading without distractions is a whole different experience.
Yes. And after reading for a while, I felt sleepy. It was only about 10 p.m., which is early for me, but my brain felt tired in a healthy way. Not from screens, but from real thinking and relaxing.
Did you sleep well?
I slept amazingly well. One of the best sleeps I've had in months. I think not having the phone before bed made a huge difference.
That happens to me too. When I avoid screens at night, I fall asleep faster and sleep deeper.
It's like the brain finally gets time to recharge properly.
Exactly. And what's funny is that the next morning, when I finally turned my phone on, I didn't feel excited. I felt a little stressed when I saw all the notifications.
Me too. I almost didn't want to turn it on.
Same here. It's like the calm day taught me something important.
Yes, it taught me that we don't need our phones as much as we think. We can survive without them. We can relax without them. We can enjoy life without them.
And we can learn English without them too, just by talking, writing, describing our day, or thinking in English.
That's true. A no phone day is not only a mental break, it's also a great language practice opportunity.
I love that idea.
So, before we move to the final part of our podcast, let's share a few simple English phrases our listeners can use to describe a no phone day. Very easy, very clear.
Good idea. Let's help them speak naturally.
For example, I woke up early, I made breakfast, I went for a walk,
I felt calm. I read a book. I enjoyed my time.
I relaxed without my phone, I noticed new things, I had a peaceful day.
And they can combine them to talk about their experience.
So, Maria, I think today's topic was really helpful. Talking about a day without a phone felt refreshing even for me, just remembering it.
Yes, I feel the same. It reminds me that life can feel calmer and more real when we take a step back from our screens.
And I think many of our listeners probably feel the same way. Phones are useful, but they take a lot of our time and energy without us noticing.
Exactly. That's why taking even one no phone day can make a big difference. It helps us reset our minds and feel more present.
And it also gives us a chance to practice English in a natural way. When you're not distracted, you can think more, notice more, and describe more.
Yes, you can look around your room and describe things in English. You can talk to yourself in English. You can write in English. All these small things help you improve faster.
And when you do these things without your phone, you focus better. Your mind becomes quiet and your English becomes clearer.
I think this is an important message for our audience. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to practice a little every day, even on calm days without your phone.
That's true. And you don't need apps or videos every time. You can improve English using real life. Your morning, your walk, your food, your thoughts.
Real life is the best teacher sometimes.
Absolutely. And before we finish, I want to give one last piece of advice.
Try this challenge. Choose one day this week and spend at least a few hours with no phone. Just be with yourself.
Yes, and then tell yourself about your day. It can be simple English like I cooked, I cleaned, I walked, I relaxed. Easy words, but real English.
And if you like this kind of practice, you can repeat it every week. Even small steps can change your life and your English.
I agree, and I hope today's conversation helps our listeners feel inspired and motivated.
Me too. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us today. We love sharing these ideas with you, and we hope you learned something useful for your English and your life.
And thank you, Alex, for another great talk. I always enjoy these conversations.
Same here, Maria. You always bring good energy and thoughtful ideas.
Thank you. And to our listeners, take care, relax when you can, and don't forget to practice your English gently and patiently.
We'll see you in the next episode. Have a wonderful day, with or without your phone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.